But my point is, all right. I'm like, I'm thinking. I be seeing people comments and stuff online. They comment about Sharon Gale Bay, right? And I her videos just because she's a more and she. I remember when she started with the information, and around the time that she started actively carrying out information, I was, still remiss. I'm in the background, like
The beginning stages of learning.
yeah, like Taj, more like Taj was doing.
Right.
Like he was in the background. He never wanted to be in the forefront. His whole thing was just completing what he was supposed to complete. So my whole thing was I was just gonna stay in the background until all the nonsense happened. My point is all the comments on all of this stuff, right? If you watch anything surrounding people just waking up about law, like me being one of them who was waking up or woken or whatever, I can go and find what they're talking about. I'll do my due diligence and I say, well, damn, they're right. This is this and this is that. Okay, well, then I try to separate myself from them and get my own understanding. And I can say for a fact, it's a lot of things that they don't necessarily understand the right way because things have to be qualified and put into context. That's neither here nor there. The point is they're on the right track. So who gives a shit? And it's a bigger point because you'll hear people say, well, they're gonna take you to jail, and how about when you on the run and this and that, and it's like, well, you don't have a choice. You're behind enemy lines. So, okay, we're gonna qualify this where everybody can understand. You're living in a movie now,
Right.
because you're saying that this is law because somebody wrote it years ago, right? People that were acting lawfully, right?
True.
And when you look at it, you realize that no judge, no barrister, and no enforcer are in law. So that means that police, judges, and lawyers are all outside of law. They're dealing in good old boy systems, right?
Well, yeah, that's evident. That's why they do a lot of backroom deals and things of that nature.
Right.
Or even they go as far as enforcers, as far as when you have a warrant out, they'll work together to figure out where you are, things like that, so they can split that
Exactly.
that tab.
So the act of giving people identification is being manipulated and used, and their rights are being violated with this, because your identification is supposed to be a self thing. When needed and when taken before the noble or the lawful people of the land, your status is to be considered, but they violated status by forcing you to identify with brands through identification. All right. So if you don't identify, then they fuck you up even worse. But either you identify with their brands or not. Okay, that's neither here nor there. They also have these loopholes where they say, well, if you have the right to claim your nationality. Well, your nationality can give you a status, which puts you outside of brand and back into the human family. Now, that's neither here nor there. The thing is that nobody understands that because it's not taught. All right. Now you're forced to put your child in public education, right? And even those who are private are forced to do this unless they have some sort of uh, trust or something set up to where they can receive the currency of the land that will discharge things for them. The Treasury of America ain't gonna give you shit, which they're supposed to, because they took your gold, they took your parents' gold, your father's, right? They took their gold out of circulation. If gold was in circulation, you could be rich because because at the end of the day, you can gain 1,000 pounds of gold and never work again. You know, just chipping away at it. just playing with your own receipts. You're in control of your money.
Yeah, but they don't want that. They want to be able to. It's a dictatorship.
Even more so, you got to look at economics. It wouldn't be enough gold for everybody. And if it was the way it used to be, all the gold belonged to the Moors. These claims would be very detrimental, which they are, because at the end of the day, we're still looking at the world this way. All the gold belonged to the Moors because all the land belonged to the Moors. Mm-hmm. Okay, if that's the truth, then that means that nobody is cut out. And then who are the Moors? I had somebody ask me that the other day. Who are the Moors? And I go, well, sweetie, since you're asking, your so-called Mexican friend, you'll say the Puerto Ricans or Puerto Ricans, the Haitians, unfortunately, Dominicans, Cubans, the bronze-skinned people are all Moors. All right, their blood may be, they have the same blood, but their pigment may be a little diluted, but they're still Moors. And the darker, actually, pigmentation means absolutely nothing. But the darker people are the ones who were the most like persecuted against, because for some reason they were also the most pure as far as being Moorish. Mm-hmm. All right, it was so bad that they would consider themselves white people based upon everybody's pigmentation is dark. So when you come in and this dark man says he's a white person, it tells you how pure his blood is. And that's where that shit comes from. Yet the Caucasians have now taken it and morphed into where it means skin. And it don't mean skin. It never had. And they know that. Mm-hmm. Now, none of this is here nor there. My problem is today, right? You'll see a video on any of this and you'll get these trolls. And they're usually in these private security firms that they call law enforcement. And these people will go in. You don't know law, and you're going to go to jail, and these people going to do this and that to you. Well, my problem is say none of this stuff. You don't know your history. You don't know nothing. You're just a citizen, right? A citizen. And you're sitting there and say they put some kind of charge on you based on a violation of your right that you don't know. Mm-hmm. What are you to do? You can't depend on a barrister, because that's what they've been doing. Everybody's been depending on barristers. They pay them fiat, which they don't know that they're discharging something that's not a debt in the first place, but they're exchanging with them these receipts for money, right? Mm-hmm. These men are being enriched with this stuff. These barristers are coming in and they're misrepresenting you. And you go in there and they say, hey, this charge is on you, right? And when they get in there, they go under color of law. And they say, well, what are you saying? Who are you? Oh, I'm black. And then they treat you that way in law. And you're stupid to it. You're ignorant. All right? And you're not going to get any remedy. None. You're guaranteed none. And it's the good old boy system. If you sign, then you can go. And basically what these people are saying, that I'm hearing in these comments and videos that they're making, is that that's okay and you must sit and deal with that. And it's like, well, the law is set up to where that's not supposed to be. And the only way for these people to receive any remedy is to be lawful. And the only way you can be lawful for us is to be in your proper person. You must be a Moor. All right. Sure. You can't be a Muslim and all that. And the thing is that if you get true understanding, a lot of people don't understand. They'll go, well, y'all call yourselves Moors, but the true word is Moors and this and that. Well, the thing is that the true word is Moor, right? But at some time in history, the letter O was sacred. So this is why you have the U's. Same thing with Muslim. The true word is Muslim, but the letter O is sacred. Therefore, they're Muslims. This is why you have it. All right. These are simple truths. So that goes a big way in understanding. To go further, I had like the biggest question, like, hey, what do you do if not that? What do you do? Because the problem is we have an issue, and we're so busy fighting amongst each other that we're not just saying, hey, this is a fucking issue. Judges are not judges anymore, and they never were by history. They never were. But at a small fraction of time, in a small fraction of time in history, they actually were supposed to be acting lawfully, right? They were in their good standing, but they were doing things that were so criminal in a world spectrum because they were on somebody else's land claiming to be lawful. That's wrong. And they allow other counterparts to initiate their will in law, which ended up with them being de facto. Okay, that's just truth. And it's not my truth, it's just truth, right? Unaltered, unadulterated truth. Now, with that being the truth, in that you can receive some sort of remedy, you can correct it, but the people have to correct it. So that's when it gets complicated.
Like a trial.
No,
because those are considered people.
No, it's more of a system correct that has to be done by the people. All right, everybody must say who they are for record, and let's get this shit done. Basically, hey, if you're an American, you're an American. If you're not, you need to stop lying, and everybody needs to say who they are. Exactly. Everybody needs to say this is who we are, and this is how the country should be run. All right. For instance, the Moors have consulates, right? So everybody that was considered a slave had consulates, right? Why did they have consulates on their own land? Because there was a foreign government here. The foreign government was the Albions. The Albions came and they were acting as government, right? Mm-hmm. And even though they were acting as government, they were also subject to the nobility of the land, because they chose to come in peace because they couldn't come in no other form. They were scared. Keep it 100. Let's keep it real. We're talking about an empire full of killers. Okay? The Moors ain't no pussies. We ain't never been no punks, and we still ain't no punks to this day. You understand? We're still the leaders when it comes to war, and they've been utilizing these Moors by trickery and lies and deceit, miseducating them. And once the Moors find out who they are, they won't fight for them anymore. They won't join your armed service. Your army is cut into a third of what it is. The rest of that is the Moors, their nation. And that's too deep. Point is, if not for nationalizing, if not being in propria persona and considering yourself more and getting with any movement that supports that, what are you to do? Right now, I'm sitting. I can't see my kids. My babies are missing me. I'm missing my kids. I'm in a house that's not mine. I don't have any currency. I'm being told what I can and cannot do, and it's infringing upon my rights, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody's coming to my aid, and even those who claim to come to my aid and want to help and this and that are still participating in the madness. They're basically saying that I have to basically go along with it and let some of my rights go, and then I'll be okay. They'll make sure that it don't hurt me that much, based on lies.
The main hurt is the fact that you can't be with your kids.
Yeah, the main hurt is I can't be with my kids, but they're basically using that against me, and they're saying, well, since you don't want to get on your knees, we're gonna take something from you. And it's like, you can't do that. But everybody is saying that's okay, that's legal until it happens to them. That's another thing that I beefed up about because you'll get a
they
guy
tell
that's
you to bow down and
yeah,
do what you're supposed to do. Then when it happens to them, it's like, oh no, man, that ain't right. I'm gonna fight.
right,
And it's like
and
a
then they
whole
want
different
support.
story. And they want support, but they don't want to give you that support in return when it was happening to you.
Now it's a guy that's a sheriff, and I heard him talking shit, right? And his video was like 3 years old, and then he got accused of some nonsense, and they stripped him of his title, and then he's basically, subject to the system all of a sudden, and then his whole tune changes. Oh, this ain't right, and this and that, and I'm going, oh, it's not right when it's you, because as long as it was quote unquote niggas, it was cool. It was straight. Everybody, y'all need to chill. And all you're gonna do is stir up some stuff and woo. And it's like, but when it's you, it's different. It's funny. That's so funny to me. But my thing is, what I'm going through right now, I have a so-called judge who knows the law, supposedly knows the law, and has told me that I can't see my kids. I can't go around them. I can't be in the same house, or they're gonna take them. And it's like, who told you you can do this? Not only that, they assigned a barrister to me, a so-called attorney. I declined, and then all of a sudden, another one shows up, and he's supposedly hired and defending me when he's misrepresenting me. And then I'm told to shut up. I can't even say, hey, this ain't the guy that's supposed to represent me. I represent myself. I can't do that because if I talk, then I'm held in contempt, and then they're gonna do something physically to me, and then they're throwing papers in front of me talking about sign, and then I'm signing in protest, and they're not even caring. They're not giving a shit. They're just moving on with the day. This guy's forging my signature by putting X's in front of it, and asking for my signature. I'm signing below the line. He's signing the X on top of the line and claiming to represent me. And I'm like, I see what you're doing, and no, yet it's not addressed. And it's like, all of this is wrong, yet you're still doing it. Your main thing is to get as much, I guess, cooperation as you possibly can. They're steady issuing continuances instead of just going for the dismissal. I'm understanding and seeing what they're doing with no recourse because I can't do anything. My arms are bound. Uh, and it's like, if you don't go along with it, they just gonna kidnap you and hold you hostage until they break you. So basically, this is terroristic. Let's call it what it is. They're terrorists. So you have a bunch of terrorists in a so-called legal system. They're all fucking terrorists. And until I hear a judicial order and a team of judges from the Supreme Court come out and say, leave these people the fuck alone and stop all government function as far as the legal system goes and let everybody go, they're all criminals. Until I hear that. Because that's what's going on right now.
Sweetheart, you ain't gonna hear that.
Exactly. You're not going to hear it because they're going to okay what the fuck they're doing. And the so-called good ones are going to just continue to sweep shit under the rug and lie. And that's what they're doing. They're lying in public, and then they're telling the truth in private. And no, you have to get on one accord. And so right now there are a system of, I don't want to say a system, more of a group of so-called lawful officials who are in total support of the republic and are still fighting for it, for the simple fact that that's how shit's supposed to be. You're not supposed to have a corporate state. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a bunch of leeches. Me personally, I'm affected because my house was taken fraudulently and illegally. They're taking my home, all right, my property. All right, through lies, misuse, and then I'm having barristers tell me, "Hey, don't worry about it. We're gonna get millions because they don't have the right to do this and they don't have the right to do that." What? Wait a minute. I know that. You know that. That judge knows that. Yet they let them do it. What happened to me was they came to my house, snatched me out my house while my children are present, my heirs, my private wards. You understand? My private heirs. All right. Not wards of the state. None of that. Yet they snatched me out my crib, throw me in some cuffs. None of these people I know. I don't know none of these motherfuckers. I've never met any of them. They take me to another place where I don't know these people. Then they take me to this other place and call it jail. They strip me naked. They did all kinds of stupid shit to me, based on nothing but the fact that I knew law and I was speaking up for myself. Right. So it's a gang. It's a gang. I was arrested by one of the biggest gangs in the world. I was kidnapped and held hostage by one of the biggest gangs in the world. This gang took me to this place. They beat on me. They starved me. So let's call it these crimes. Terroristically, they assaulted me. They starved me. They chained me and shackled me. They physically assaulted me and then brought me to a room and told me that it was okay, that they was going to continue to do it unless I give them a signature, unless I give them some form of money. That's called extortion.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing. Extortion. They're in there starving people and then calling them crazy. They're in there assaulting people, then calling them crazy. They're in there holding people hostage and calling them crazy. And then they're telling their loved ones, give us money, give us money, give us currency. You must give us some sort of note or receipt for your loved one to eat, for them to have toilet paper, for them to have
commissary.
Yeah, that for you to have basic things. And I'm like, this isn't right. It doesn't take a very bright person to understand this isn't right.
No.
You know. And it was people in there, man, that were psychologically not fit to even deal with any of this, yet they're having them sign papers. It's like that person is incomparable. How is that okay? The so-called attorneys go in there and talk with each other and create some farce and then throws the piece of paper in front of this person. Oh, you shoplifted. Here's 35 years. You better take it. And they're having these incomparable people sign for this. This isn't legal. It's not legal. It's not.
You don't care about what's legal anymore. All they care about is the fact that they have so-called currency or notes or fiat that helps fatten their pockets.
And that
they stay in good standing with one another.
Yeah, they stay in good standing with one another. It's like, for one, there's no way you're dealing with a judge. That's off top. And I'm gonna call a duck. I'm dealing with Barbara Halsey right now in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I mean, not Jonesboro. I'm sorry, Poinsett County, Arkansas. She's whatever kind of judge.
Circuit court.
Yeah, circuit court or whatever. Fuck that shit court. Is. It's supposed to be in federal court because they violated my U.S. constitutional rights, and I've been told by these people that they don't respect the federal constitution. They don't give a fuck about that. And then I was told by some that they bound by paychecks. They said I don't give a shit about law because at first they was telling me, hey, we don't care about the U.S. Constitution. That ain't us. That's the feds. You want to deal with that, you call the feds. And I'm like, well, I can't call nobody because I'm in here with you. And y'all refuse to let me go. They said, well, that's tough cooking. So then I went to state law. I said, well, the state says that you got to do this. We don't give a fuck about state either. We bound by paychecks. We ain't bound by law. Why the fuck you got me here then? If you bound by a paycheck, you just told me you're a terroristic threat. You understand? And that you're a terrorist group. All right. If you're a terrorist group, that's not lawful. Yet, if I did anything to you, and if I defended myself against you, when it hit the news, it'll say that I went against the state or some law. And it's like, who law? The news will put that everywhere. I'm a criminal. But you're the fucking criminals. It's one of me. It's 200 of y'all. Yeah, I got a gun. I sure do. And I'm ready to bust that bitch. But here it is. I'm going to shoot against 200 motherfuckers. Y'all some punks. If you really tough, bring your best and brightest. Me and this motherfucker fight in a cage. Whoever walk out, win. Straight like that. Like I told them, you can't pour one of your little hateful people You can't melt them down and pour them on me. And I say hate because I don't believe in racism. I know what that really means. Zoos are racist. You understand? That's racist as fuck. But your hate for me, that's not racism. That's stupidity and ignorance. That's just hate. That's war in essence. So at the end of the day, I don't use that word like that. Keep it real. So we dealing with hate. All right. And since we dealing with hate, and you hate me so fucking much, yeah, I ain't fucked up. My thing is get your best and your brightest, your strongest. I guarantee you he couldn't last in a cage with me. In any arena, we can talk about physical or mental. You can't fuck with me. I'm a Moor. I know way more than you do. I may not know about the system you created because I don't give a shit about it. It's not supposed to affect me. I stay out of your arena, you know. But this ain't about that. This is about subjugation. And one of the barristers told me that. You know, I said, man, how are they doing this?
Not one.
Many. Okay, you're right. Yeah. All of them told me that. They told me the same thing. Because when I came to them, I said, well, that's not lawful because the law states and this code states, and he said, look, man, this ain't about that. This is about this. I said, so it's about subjugation. Yes, it's exactly about subjugation. He said, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner we can be done with all of this. They're going to want you to do this and do that. You just do it and go along. Huh? I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to talk to any of you no more. Because I'm not going to bow down. I'm not going to give up my right to live, my God-given right. God told me this. Bitch, I'd rather die. So come on. And they said, well, what about your kids? You can't use my kids as a weapon against me. That's not possible. I'm sorry. I don't have that. Okay? Yes, I love my babies. But at the end of the day, I'd rather die showing them what you have to do in order to defend yourself on this land than to live and be some kind of pussy. Like, it's not gonna happen. It ain't happening. And I had a person tell me, well, you have to, because we were commenting and I was asking these types of questions, and they told me, well, if you really love your kids and really want to say, and they were law enforcement, they've already said it, if you really love them, then you will just drop all of this nonsense so they'll leave you alone. And well, I say, you know who you sound like? You sound like a Jew in Nazi Germany. If you just tell Hitler that you love Heil Hitler, then they will not stick you in the oven. Bitch, I ain't scared of an oven, and I ain't scared of Hitler. Tell that bitch bring it. You hear me? I'm willing to die. You hear me? I don't give a fuck. Fuck Hitler. You hear me? That's how I feel. Fuck them Nazis.
First of all, Hitler was the shit.
Hitler was the shit.
But don't nobody realize it. But continue. But
no, we're talking about how people view it. The Holocaust was so bad. It was bad. Well, how can you say the Holocaust was bad and what you're doing here on this land is not bad?
Exactly.
People don't realize that. This is why I say I'm doing these videos, because I want people to get an insight to this, because literally they don't know. They're ignorant to it. All my cousins, and I mean like out of 10 of my cousins, and I come from a really big family, out of 10 of my cousins, 9 of them have some sort of charge on them, whether it be a misdemeanor, a felony, or something. They've all seen it inside of a jail cell, right? That's not because they're bad. I'm talking about from the educated ones. I come from an educated family, and I got the ones that ain't, you know, which ain't their fault. It ain't their fault. It's just the education system how it's set up. It's set up to take the young males, right, and ostracize them and make it seem like either education is something that's far from them, or they can't attain, or whatever. And they do this by segregating them. You know, if you're an aggressive boy and you won't play sports, right? Then they're gonna ostracize you, right? You're automatically a ISS or in some sort of suspension type of kid. You're gonna go be disciplined 24 hours a day until you break, until you become docile. Or if you join like their ROTC camp, then they know they're preparing you for the military. So they pretty much leave you alone. I learned all this shit in school. I played sports first, and I didn't want to play football, and I watched a vice principal try to make my life a living hell until I played football for him. Needless to say, I never played. I don't give a fuck. Like I told him, you can suspend me every week for stupid shit. I could care less. I don't even need your school. I'm smarter than y'all. Bitch, second grade, I was on high school level. Imagine what level I am in high school. I'm way smarter than y'all. I know that already. I'm intelligent. I don't need you to teach me, bitch. I have a library. I went to the library every day. I had 7 to 8 notebooks I walked around with just writing down thoughts. It's called philosophy. I'm Socrates, bitch, in high school. I don't need you. There's nothing you can teach me. I'm here because I'm mandated to be here by my parent, okay, who is afraid of you. All your terroristic threatening that says if they don't send me here, you're going to come and kidnap them. So they sent me. I didn't hurt anybody. I wasn't doing nothing bad, being my own person, as I'm entitled to do, pursue happiness and all of that nonsense. So, I'm sitting there and I went through it and I watched how when I would go to in-school suspension and these things, how how it would only be really poor Caucasians and any more that didn't participate. If you consider yourself alone, like I was really popular, like everybody wanted to hang with me, but it was like I stayed to myself in a certain group. I had a little small group of thinkers. You had to be a thinker to be around me because if you were not a thinker, I really didn't hang around you like that. If you couldn't give me thought, I didn't want to be around you. Just me. I had homies and friends that were, not as much, intelligible as the rest of us. They were more aggressive, and I understood them, so I was friends with them. But at the same time, it wasn't like they sat with me every day. And that's school, okay? I dealt with principals and things that would come and basically try to subjugate me then, and it didn't work. And they basically wanted to kick me out of their schools based on this. Oh, he won't be subjugated. Well, that's what school is for, to subjugate you, to make you fit in some kind of storyline for them, right? So basically, they're planning out your life for you, and I wouldn't let them do it. I just wouldn't. Oh, you're so smart. You should do this. Cool. I'm gonna do it on my time, on my way, like my ancestors before me. This is how I'm gonna do it. We used to go into the mountains to study. So I'm gonna be self-taught. And I decided to do that. And they did everything they could to break me and they couldn't. And now as an adult, I guess I'm supposed to be docile, and since I'm not docile, they're trying to impose their will on me again. And that's cool. That's cool. At the end of the day, they're gonna do what they do. My thing is when it comes to law, who's checking these people? I'm dealing with a judge and judges. Let's call it what it is. I'm dealing with judges in Arkansas who are not legally unbiased. They're automatically biased. They tell the people to shut up when they work for them. You're supposed to be unbiased. They violate fair play every day. Nobody says shit. They violate their canons and rules every day. Nobody says shit. And you can't talk to anybody about it. Even the Justice Department, for what I'm seeing, has washed their hands with it. So if we start killing these motherfuckers, then what? You sending in military? What is the lawful action you can take? Because it can't be a civil suit. That's after the fact. You've already been hurt, and you can't get that time back. Okay? That fuck a civil suit. We don't want money. We want y'all to stop. That's the truth. Stop. Somebody come in and stop them. And if you can't stop them, that means that you ain't got no control. If you ain't got no control, ain't no government. It's called anarchy. That's what it is. So the people are not the anarchists. They're too stupid. Let's just be real. People too stupid. They going along with anything. So that ain't the anarchy. The anarchy is in your so-called government, your judges, your law enforcement. They're anarchists. That's just who they are. They're going opposite the law. And they don't give a fuck, and nobody's holding them accountable for anything. They're shooting people with no kind of discipline. Nobody's doing anything to them for it. They're killing kids. They're killing kids on TV. Nobody's saying shit. They're saying this is what they do. He shouldn't have did this. How you gonna find fault in the person? That's a person. They're free. At least I thought. You're free to do what the fuck you want. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, cool. Well, you know, he had stole a bag of chips. Bitch, it's a bag of chips that's already been paid for. What are you talking about? It's already been paid for. They were intimidating. Who gives a fuck? Well, I got the right to stand my ground. How you got rights and I don't, and it's my land? Where that come from? Who told you that? Who told you that? It was my ancestors' land. What is you talking about? How you got rights and I don't? Because that's what it's coming down to. You have rights and I don't. You're a foreigner with rights. I'm a indigenous person and I ain't got no rights. When your rights match up against mine, who trumps who? Or should they be equal? Because that's what the Constitution was doing, giving y'all equal rights on the land. And because my ancestors were understanding of that, they agreed and was like, okay, cool. Y'all do need rights because we don't need our people killing y'all and getting away with it. Because we're just. We believe in truth, peace, and all that stuff. So y'all don't have none of that. So I ain't gonna even waste my time on telling you. So what's the issue? There's a fucking issue. Now, and this shit goes deep because you're dealing with venues that are claiming to be courts, yet you can't submit paperwork to them because they want currency. They want currency, and they want a lot of currency that you might not have. Yet they're gonna say that you got to submit this. How come you can't submit and pay later? And in order to get and a lot of people are going to say, well, you can get waivers. Well, in order to get a waiver, you have to see a judge. They won't let you see a judge. They'll tell you that you can't see a judge. You got to put in the paperwork first. All right. Who can see a judge at any time is a barrister. You can contact their offices. You contact the judge's offices. They won't see you. Even if you're in proper persona or pro se, which are different, by the way. But even if you're in program persona or pro se, you can't see a judge. They won't let you. They do everything in their power to keep you from being on the record or lawful, from handling your own business, unless you're a barrister or you have a character status of being rich, influential in the community. This is the thing. If you don't have these statuses and you can be lawful, that means that you're outside of their community because they don't know you. And if you're outside of the community, you're not. You can respect them all you want, but at the end of the day, you're not supposed to be in their venue. This is where we come in with jurisprudence. These are basic truths, yet they're violated. Why do I do these videos? I do these videos as record of fact of my character, record of fact of true law, record of fact of my competence. So if ever in the future, because shit finna get real, if ever in the future you hear I was crazy, I was this, I was that, this is where I stand. And I stand all 10 toes down. Let's get it. This is me. I'm intelligible. I'm from what you would call the hood. I'm me, unapologetically. I do not break laws. I do not seek to oppose anybody. I seek knowledge. I'm a scholar. That's what I do. I raise my children the same way. That's neither here nor there. I raise my children religiously. Same way my mother raised me, her mother raised her, her father, the whole nine. That's how I do. Do I go by the Bible word for word? I try. I really do. Quran as well, and the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah. Kabbalistic teaching. I do. I raise my children that way. My heirs. And I will not be beaten or broken. I'll be dead first. That's just me. I will not be subjugated to anyone. And when I say I'm a Moorish American, I'm not joining a gang. I'm just stating facts. I am a Moor. It's just how that goes. I am from Al-Marak. That's just how that goes. I didn't ask for that. I was just born into it. All right? It's not a gang. I don't affiliate myself with ignorant people because there are ignorant Moors. Like they're ignorant everybody else. People get a little bit of information and run with it. So when they run with it, they're held to those standards. Up north, law is sometimes respected. And it's like some people get some remedies, but a lot don't. A lot really don't, man, because either they don't understand or the system is set up to where they just use brute force. Like you can be as lawful as you want. You can go by the constitutions and the contracts and the codes because there are codes in state and federal law. And you can be in line with all of that and argue your points articulately and be dead right. And a so-called judge will look you in the face and go, guilty. Or they'll just lock you up and act like none of that happened. They'll erase the record. They really will. They'll close that bitch halfway. Or they won't open it at all and deal with you. You know, so where's your recourse? Where can you be lawful? That's a true question. I have the answer, but I'm not gonna answer it. Because at the end of the day, my answer is gloomy. It looks bad. So anyway, I can't even fucking see my own family or none of that because I'm scared that they're gonna do something to me. I've been terroristically threatened by a slew of people. Arkansas, law enforcement, period, across the board, because nobody intervened and set the rest of them right. So they all responsible. From Little Rock on down to where I'm at, all through this bitch. The governor, all of them responsible, as far as I'm concerned. Because you're supposed to keep your people in check. And if this has been going on from what they tell me is 25 years, and this is what inmates are telling me and what barristers have told me. They've been doing this stuff like this for 25 years. They didn't integrate the schools here until the 90s. Let's keep it 100. And not that I believe in integration. I never liked that shit, no way. Segregation was the best way because as long as we were separated, though we've experienced law enforcement educated, so we had some type of recourse. Y'all gotta understand, Martin Luther King them came out of segregation. That's why they were so powerful, because we were taught a certain way, and our level of teaching was higher than theirs, because we had teachers that would actually give a shit about you because you look like them. They know your money, live next door to or up the street around the corner. These people are so-called teaching us, but they're kicking us out of class all the time because that we don't understand. Well, baby, you don't understand because you don't want to. You see this dirty nigga. That's what you see. You taught that hate. I wasn't taught that hate. People always acting like they're victim shaming. Oh, you're bad because you feel this way. I'm bad because I feel this way. What? You don't tell a rape victim that she was wrong. You don't. Yeah, you can tell how your people are treating me based upon. We're talking about public perception.
So am I. You realize that they just passed laws in certain states that if a woman is raped, she has to keep that child. Therefore, the rape victim is wrong. She cannot abort that child, no nothing. She has no rights.
Well, that's all about human trafficking. They're talking about the fact
kidnapping women, connections out to give them to transgenders.
All right, so we're talking about the fact that they're doing all of that. They realize the population is going to dwindle and die off. All right, because when they do things, they design it for a specific group of people. But what they're realizing is that people have no identity anymore. So even though they designed it for a specific group of people, everybody gets affected with it across the board. And then they fuck up the population that way. So the homosexual agenda was population control. All right, they were trying to put this on certain people. I'm not gonna say, y'all know, but they're trying to put this on certain people. Instead, across the board, everybody came out. Everybody, oh yeah, I'm gay. All right, cool. But what that mean? That's lack of babies. No babies being born, right? So you got people like myself having a lot of kids, as many as possible. Fuck that. Let's get it. And then you got others who are having none, and they're straight. And if they do have any, it'll be one or two, based on the fact that they can't feed them in this current system. All right. And they're literally taught no other ways to feed themselves. Like, you can't just go and claim land and farm anymore. You can, but they're fucking you up for doing religious shit, right? Religious shit they fucking you up with, bringing law into you. So say you what was a perfect example? Say you believe in setting a fire all your old things, and you have a fire on your property every week. They'll come lock your ass up based on that fire. They'll turn your religious belief into a infringe upon law. But a law cannot be made to infringe upon your rights. So literally, they violating law by making pretend laws. Because that's all it is. It's a pretend law. Because once it violates the supreme law, it's no longer a law, it's void. But they're holding it true. Because they're saying nobody said anything. Woo woo. Well, you can't say anything. You got people out here struggling. And you know that. And when you say something, then you need a certain amount of people to say it. And then you got to say it to the right person. And then they got to listen, and you got to get publicity on it. So, and then all the news and stuff controlled by assholes who consider themselves to be rich and powerful. And pretty much they are powerful as fuck for some reason. Mm-hmm. Something I'm not understanding yet. It takes a lifetime to understand the bullshit that they've done. My problem is that they've done it. It's a problem. Right now, my family is suffering based on these people pulling their chests out saying, "We're gonna fuck you up. You better bow down. You better bow down, pussy." That's what they're saying. And I'm like, no, not gonna do it. No. Well, we gonna hurt your kids. Now what? No, you love them, right? Motherfucker, and you can't see them. I dare you go over there. I'm gonna stick my gun in your mouth, bitch. That's what they telling me. That's lawful? To who? That's lawful? That's when your authority goes away. See, when you come in under color of law and you got that suit on, people respect that color of law, right? But when you start acting like a criminal, you lose that authority. My thing is they all lost their authority to me based on that. So yeah, I'm gonna send this video out, man. Y'all can understand or not understand. You feel me? At the end of the day, fuck it. Most of y'all don't understand no way. I've been by myself because I'm at law. I ain't violating no laws. I'm chilling. I ain't did nothing to nobody. Yet they call me violent. I'm this, I'm that. They never even talked to me. Nobody even spoke to me, bro. Everybody assaulting me, fucking throwing me places, just imposing their will upon me. Illegally. It's legal as fuck. I ain't fought nobody. I ain't did shit. I could. I'm a bad motherfucker. Ain't no lie. I can fight my ass off. I can shoot well. I can fly off a Diaz at 250 yards. Not 300. I ain't got there yet. You hear me? But 250. Fly off a Diaz ass. I'm cold. But how does that help me? How does that help me? And that's what you resorted to. That's why you see them people getting together and creating militias. And then they take on a whole police force. And people go, yeah, that's fucking crazy. These people are unlawful, man. And they want you to, because they're a gang. They need aggression. I watched a cop jump into a man's car based on a stop. The man came back with a felony or whatever. The man was on his way to work. He still has work clothes on. You can see it. And he told him, man, look, I've been having issues. Woo. I got this. I ain't trying to do this. You know, the cop hung in his window shooting him because the man was trying to drive off. Why not let that man go? You got his plate. You know where he stayed. If there's a legal issue, you know how to go get him. But this is the thing. It's not about legal. It's about human trafficking. It's about warehousing corpses, considering these people dead based upon their ignorance. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Y'all violating a lot of laws. People like me, they want dead. Literally. They won't put a bullet in. Hear me? They don't like hearing this shit. So this is why they troll. This is why they fuck with Sharon and all that, and she ignore them. I can't ignore them. Fuck no. Because either everybody understands or nobody understands with me. That's just how I feel. When nobody understands, cool, I'm going to keep talking. When everybody understand and you let it know that you understand, but this is your position anyway, cool, I'll stop talking to you. You feel me? And people get in their head that they know something when they don't know shit. Read a book. Don't read any book. Read the books that pertain to what you're talking about. And they say, well, I had that. This is how stupid people are. I had a motherfucker tell me, well, who says that the book is right? Motherfucker, it's the book. Fuck, like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Yeah, books, they say nothing's written in stone, right? Do you know where that saying comes from? Stone tablets. Come on, put it together. Like, don't let me think for you. But you say, well, who says the book is right? Well, the people that are so-called in power study these books, and they're bound to books. You swear an oath on a book, right? Swear an oath on the book, because the book labels what you can and cannot do. The book guides you, and from the book, you're supposed to make decisions based on what you learned in that book. And if I'm reading them books and you ain't following that book, you're out of order. So read the fucking books and get in order. Because the people that are swearing these oaths are not the only ones bound by these books. You are, because you're dealing with them, right or wrong. Common sense. Common sense a bitch. I'm noticing a lot of people don't have that. All this stuff isn't it's not complicated. It's simple. And simple is the best thing. You know, I don't understand things when they're just simple. I understand them when they're complicated, and I can make them simple. It's a weird way of thinking. What they call me, a out of the box thinker or something like that. So I'm not intelligent. I'm not really smart and none of that stuff. I'm a regular person who who contracts out his labor. Y'all call it a job, employeeship, or whatever the fuck y'all call it. But yeah, I work every day, usually. I can't now. They stopped that. Basically confiscated my property and all kinds of stupid shit. Now, there may be some of you say, what did you do? Yeah, I'm gonna let that silence play out. What did you do? What did you do? Nothing. But what they're saying I did was course correct my child. I believe in course correction. You course correct in many ways. I believe in course correction. I course corrected my child who was going off course. Details of that I can't explain right now because, yeah. But yeah, I course corrected my child. And they said, well, you can't do that. Why? Because you're a nigga. I'm not a nigga. Sorry. I don't know what that is. They got me labeled as black and African American. They never asked me my nationality. They just put it in as forgery and fraud. I told them to correct it. They're not correcting it. I mean, they're imposing their will upon a dead entity. And I'm claiming that I'm not dead, being competent. And they don't know how to deal with it because they never dealt with it before. Usually people just go along with it. And because I'm not going along with anything, they doing more and more shit, making themselves liable and saying that they not going to make it right. Everybody saying contact the feds, contact the feds. Well, if the feds gave a fuck and if they were lawful, they would be here already. The only thing I hear from them is, why the fuck are you there? Why are you there? Why can't I be? You said all the land was free. And if these people ain't in line with you, then they're opposing you. And if they're opposing you, you're supposed to snuff them out. It's war. Ain't no war been fought. I know a lot of people ain't gonna agree with that statement. There's an issue. There's a problem. It must be corrected. And that's the truth. There's a problem. It must be corrected. People are waking up. And these folks don't want to fall in line. So I say this. You can call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But I'm going with law overall. I'm going with law. And law say that they can't do the shit that they're doing. And either they're going to get in line or we're going to fight it out. I'm down. I'm down to die by mine. Like, for truth, yeah, I'm down to die. I really am. Me and my whole existence, I don't mind. I really don't. I do not. Because me, I say, I never asked to be in this world. And I never asked to be anybody's subject. I can't be subject. Something in it for me. I never could. That was my point of giving y'all that background. I've never been anyone's subject. I refuse. I've always been my own thinker. I've always been my own person. And I believe I have that right. Now, the information that I know, I learned over the years and I was self-taught. Hey, it is what it is. You cannot agree with it. I understand that. You have your right to do what you want to. But when it comes to infringing upon my rights, then we have an issue that must be settled properly. And if these people aren't willing to be lawful and settle disputes properly in law, then they shouldn't be where they are. They shouldn't be in a position to dictate to anyone. I have people just stamping papers on me. Never met me, never heard me. I don't know them. I don't deal with them. And if I don't deal with you, then you should not be dealing with me. Simple and plain. I understand. You can't know everybody, right? And in these counties and stuff like that. And your assumptions are your issue, not mine. But they're making assumptions that I'm supposed to be a subject, and I'm not. And I refuse to be. And somebody needs to intervene, or I'm going to do it. That's just how that's going to go. I'm tired. Really am. Tired of dealing with these people. But I'm out. What they say, study, study, study. Don't forget to share.